Hey everyone, welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. We are at Cliff's Edge, and we have already investigated the bottom part of this. I've got some notes of places we want to check out after this, but we still have to go and check out the whole top part of Cliff's Edge, including this bar, which I think I'm actually going to leave till last. Let's see, what do we have here?
Doing it now.
We have hawkers, we have Sage's townspeople.
Now.
Let's see. Your breath is bad, just awful, like your tongue died in your mouth. That's nice. Sell your stolen goods here, stolen goods at a fair price. You're wondering why no one's reported me. Maybe they tried. Heh, maybe they can't. This door goes to the underbelly, which we've been to.
Got it.
We'll be going back there, but not quite yet. There's a beggar. Aiden Satabo.
All right.
He seems like an interesting fella. Although, what is this? These three triangles float serenely above a scuffed stone basin. You can't help noticing that the citizens of Sages are giving this monument a wide berth. The largest triangle shines brightly, radiating a soothing warmth. The middle darker one hovers above it, turned slightly away from the first, with what strikes you as disdain. The third is small, dryly amused, and so deeply indigo as to be nearly black. It is removed from the first two triangles. You hesitate. You are sensing emotions from those objects, intent. Something strange is here. Let's look at the stone basin. Stone is cracked in places, but far newer than the ancient shapes that float above. You suspect that the citizens of Sages added the basin to make the triangles look less out of place. Okay, let's examine the smallest triangle. Tiny objects spin slightly faster than the others. The more you stare at it, the more you sense a growing presence in the air, the icy regard of distant eyes. You blink, swaying. In the half second before you open your eyes, you hear the thunderous crack of wood on wood and the rumble of distant voices. You snatch your hand from the triangle. Study the medium-sized triangle. Staring at this triangle is disorienting. The longer you stare at it, the more you feel a tight coiling sensation in your head. Standing on your toes and stretching, you manage to brush the triangle's icy face with your finger. Okay, I didn't mean to touch it. The air thickens like a weight over you, and you struggle to keep your eyes open. Between the thumping of your heartbeat, you hear 1,000 purposeful, rhythmic footsteps treading endless stairs towards the peak of a vast, echoing room. Okay, fine, let's touch the big one. You reach out and time slows. Your hand drifts past the individual motes of light dappled dust, moving into the warm glow of the large triangle. Calm warmth bleeds up your arm, or you grasp the edge of the triangle. It's somehow rigid and flexible at the same time. You blink, and a strip of light unwinds ahead of you like a path through infinite murmuring dark. Behind you is an ever-shifting zoetrope of linked, motionless U's. It's your past, you realize, every second of it, every choice pouring out of you and trailing away into the black. You open your eyes. You're back at the stone ring, still touching the triangle. All three of them are watching you. You blink again. The strip of light, the surrounding darkness, and in the valley between the slow pulsing of your heart, you hear the murmurs of countless witnesses. The raised voices of your past and future companions. The heated condemnations of enemies you haven't met yet, and above it all, a trio of voices, one warm, one cold, and one dryly practical. They are speaking a verdict, but you can't hear them over the din. Let's just ignore the voices and keep walking. You stride on. Some of the innumerable witnesses cheer, others angrily denounce you. It doesn't matter. Their voices fade into the darkness behind you, leaving you alone. The path unravels before your every step. The past unspools behind you. Let's stay on the path and see where it leads. You follow the road. Casually you look to the right, and the path at your feet flickers, as if anticipating your new direction. Clearly your choices define this road's course, and not the other way around. You open your eyes. The 3 triangles hang in the air exactly as they did before, unmoving and silent. The vision is gone, and yet you can still feel the choices you've made curving away behind you like a string of jewels. You straighten, moving into the future breath by breath. You suddenly notice a message carved in the stone ring beneath the triangles. Judge yourself. As you watch, it slowly fades away. Says, apparently to itself. I think we're good. Okay, let's talk to this guy, Aiden Satavo. The large muscled man is practicing some form of martial art as you look on. He is wearing an old white, rough woven coat with the sleeves torn off, and a red bandana is wrapped tightly around his head. He seems to be moving much faster than his size suggests is possible. He glides between stances as swiftly as water. His fists are blurring hammers striking at invisible enemies. His bare, calloused feet snap and slash at the air like knives. Watches the man with wide, fascinated eyes, then turns to an invisible enemy of its own. It says, slashing at the wind with a tendril. Oh, that's hilarious. He's going to try martial arts too. You're very fast. Yes, he says. The Drebel's gift. His hand slips around an invisible assailant's arm. He snaps it with a stab of his elbow, then crushes his enemy's throat and flips him over the shoulder to the ground. Chesithum array, he shouts, spinning over the invisible adversary's corpse to deliver a triangle of jabs to the chest of his next attacker. The entire set of moves took no longer than 4 seconds. He catches you staring and smiles. You must be wondering why I'm shouting. Yeah. I'm not surprised. I must look like a lunatic, he says before spearing his opponent's jugular with 3 fingers. Canted thrust. It helps me focus my breathing, my strength and will. It reminds me of how weak I once was and how strong I've become. Years ago, as a starving beggar, I managed to steal a wedge of pie crust and was terrified that someone would take it from me. So I hid inside that metal structure over there to enjoy my feast. Bite of the hidden keeb, he says, clawing his enemy's eyes. The stale crust crumbled into pieces between my eager fingers, and something strange happened. They drifted toward the ground like the softest of snowflakes. I was able to pluck each of them from the air before they fell. At first I was delighted, then I wept. How far had I fallen? The clean food was a miracle. But the miracle never ended. The longer I lived in the shelter, the more I could slow the world by concentrating. I swore to never waste that gift. I would honor it by becoming stronger, faster. I would challenge the predators of the world and take their killing blows from them. I would never be prey again. Grush stomp. So, where did you learn to fight like that? By challenging the deadliest creatures and studying their killing blows. I lack claws or teeth, but I do the best I can. That's kind of funny, him going and yelling the move that he does as he does it, because it's like a, martial arts cartoon or something. Have you seen a 10-year-old girl with dark curly hair? Yes, I have seen her crawling out of a fissure in one of the collapsed houses in this district. She's likely hiding, but I did not pry into her affairs. Farewell. Yeah. Let's see, there's a nano. Teeth of the Momora. Here for an alteration, are you? Genoa will take good care of you. Or Journal. Let's see, what's this object over here? The silent and ancient machine casts a long shadow. As you study it, your breath stutters in your chest and your hands shake. You can't help feeling as though you have stood in this exact spot before. Examine the device. Jumble of mismatched parts make this once functional generator. You notice a familiar circonate symbol etched into the metal like a maker's mark. Okay. And who's this guy? Come here. Everything about the slender young man says thug, from his scar-slashed eyebrows to the calloused hand hovering over his hip where a dagger would hang, but he doesn't have one. Instead, flour cakes his hands and a single apron string hangs from his pocket. He is apparently a baker. Stand still, you shine, he says as he peers over your shoulder. You follow his gaze to an armored soldier who is loitering in the public square. That levy's been following me for days. Can't stop for a piss without checking side to side. You sure he's following you? Put it like this. I know when I'm being followed. I've seen him on my track from dawn to dark for 3 days. I ain't done anything wrong. And it's worse than that. That's my levy. What do you mean your levy? I'm a citizen. Every levy is made from a citizen. This one was made from me. Look, I can't explain why, but I know that one's mine. I feel it, right? And now it's coming for me. Look, he won't leave me alone, right? I gave a year of my life to make him, and I thought that was that. Now I catch him standing on the street outside the bakery, whispering to himself, playing with that carving of his. He even tried to talk to me. Levies aren't supposed to know who they came from, right? They ain't supposed to know who you are. Could you talk to him, find out what he wants? Can you talk to him yourself? I've heard stories. Levies go wrong sometimes, get obsessed with the person that gave him life. If the two ever met, the levy goes mad, tears him apart. That ain't gonna happen to me, not after what I've been through. Fine, I'll talk to him. He's the only levy in the district, so you can't miss him. Plus he ain't smiling like all the others, and he's holding some sort of charred wooden thing in his hands.
Making a note.
You need anything else? How do they create your levy? I look like a scholar to you? All I know is where they told me to stand. Look, people who want to be, respectable in this town, they become citizens. The way you do that is you step into this glass chamber. Takes a year out of your life, they say. I figure it squeezes that year into human shape. Don't know how. Wouldn't pay 2 shins to know. Okay.
Yes.
Tormented levy. That must be him. Hey there. This levy is not like the others you've seen. The wide smile is absent, and his oddly shaped eyes are red, wet, and haunted. He stares past you, whispering to himself and turning a small charred object over and over into his hands. He appears to be looking for someone, and having spoken to Finzen, you can imagine who. The aura of shame around him is so powerful you can practically taste it. What are you holding there? I'm holding my shame. His hands unfold one bloody, soot-covered finger at a time. A crudely made wooden bird lies there, painted in pinks and pale blues, and charred around the edges. That bird represents your shame? Represents? No. This is my shame, and I'm holding it. I can't put it down. What does it represent again? It is shame, and it is mine. Finzen sent me to find out why you're following him. Yes. The despair melting away. In that moment, he looks like a child with a child's desperate hope. He knows too, doesn't he? He sees what he did, what we did. When the machine ripped the year from him to make me, I felt the choices unraveling before me. I see them coming. None of it can be changed.
I'll remember that.
Tell him this for me. The Gillam Manor job did happen. A servant caught him, called the levies. They chased him, and he set a fire. The fire spread through the neighborhood. People were trapped. People screamed. Please tell him I'm with him in the dark, hiding from the mobs, sobbing. Tell him to give me a different year, a better one. What kind of year do you want? A year without the blackened door, without the hand tangled in the grate, the weeping in dark places. Wails rising with glowing ashes, my arms bound with ragged rope. Every time I'm there in those last minutes, I try to apologize, but my mouth is full of dirt and blood. Okay, I'll talk to him. That's a little messed up. Okay. Spoken to Levy, he mentioned something about the Gillam Manor job. He what? Keep your voice down. You tell anybody else about this? No, good. I have to be unspecific about this, understand? Before I became a citizen, I wasn't a nice person. I took things for money, and just a few weeks ago, certain people told me they wanted to rob Gillam Manor. I was gonna do it, but then I became a citizen, gave up a year of my life to create the levy, that levy. Something changed. All of a sudden, I couldn't get dangers out of my head. How thick the levy patrols were, or like how the captain herself was looking into one of my older adventures. So I canceled the job and I started working at my aunt's bakery. Never did the Gillam job, and that's the truth. Levy is seeing what would have happened if you did the job. He wants another year from you. Oh, I get it. It's a shakedown. Give me a year or I'll tell him what you did. Well, I ain't done nothing. I never killed anyone and I don't owe him nothing. I can't keep handing out years like they're free. Let's see. Based on what he said, it looks like becoming a citizen saved your life. But that's not fair. He's suffering for what you would have done. I ain't ever been in the same town as fair. You ever find it, you let me know.
Making a note.
I'd go up to Government Square and tell Captain of Levies what he's up to if I had any way of explaining it. Hey, your Levies following me around. I think it's because he's haunted by my criminal past. What good would telling the Captain of Levies? Levies ain't supposed to follow their citizens around. They ain't supposed to get all weepy either. Telling the captain would take care of the problem for sure, but I ain't about to try it myself. You want to try talking to her? She's in Government Square. I'll see what I can do. Good luck, just don't, tell her too much. Okay, so we've got another quest. Oh, and look, we apparently have all leveled up.
Onward.
Let's see. Oh no, we didn't level up. We've just got Avina's Ditty as a fiddle. I don't think anybody's ready to level up. Nope. Okay.
Let's go.
What is this? Oh, I found more loot. Okay, so the girl we're looking for is supposed to be in,
Of course,
one of these collapsed buildings. The house here was reduced to rubble when part of the cliff face collapsed. There's evidence the squatters have slept here recently. A ragged blanket, rotted fruit peelings, and the footsteps of dust itself. Something scratches deep within the rubble. It sounds like someone or something is in there. Hello? Rubbleneck makes no response. Dig deeper. You crawl partway inside, pushing aside boards and a thin slab of slate. A small girl gasps, throwing her hand to block the sudden light. She's young, no more than 10 or 11 years old. She has made herself as small as possible to fit into the tiny gap in the rubble. Her hair is dark and curly. She pulls herself deeper into the rubble away from you. Come on out. I won't hurt you. She shakes her head vigorously, trying to shoo you away. You hear a voice behind you. I told you patience would pay off, lads. Uh-oh. Some thugs stroll over. They all carry weapons at their side, though they walk with the cocky assurance of those who don't expect to need them. Hisses very quietly. I swear I checked this hovel. She wasn't there. No one was. How did this draft find her so easily? Don't fret it, Begga. Come on, little bird. Doesn't matter how good you are at hiding. You had to come out sometime. Okay, well, I did not mean to leave them to her. The girl huddles behind you, keeping you between her and the thugs. Even so, it's obvious she's not so sure about you either.
Don't let them take me, please!
Okay. Why don't you want to go with them? Hooded thug says she's lost. The little urchin ran away from her home. Her mother asked us to find her and bring her back safely. Well, that's not true. The slavers asked us to go find her. You don't sound like concerned friends, more like thugs. Here now, we're like family to her. No, they're bad men. They want to steal me. Kidnappers? Now that's just crude. We're delivery men, that's all. The means and motivations of our employer ain't none of our business. But alright, yeah, there is a slaver who put up a fine bounty if we bring her back. It's all legal and it's none of your business. Best stay out of it. You can't take me. He found me. He has discoverer's rights. The hooded thug raises an eyebrow, a bemused smirk playing on his face. Is that so? Well, Spider Jack, what do you say? Is she coming with us, or are we taking her from you? Well, that's not going to work. Let's see. Yeah, let's just do the noble thing. Or we could just say, just try to take her from me. Or it doesn't matter if it's legal. Slavery is evil and you're a part of it. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna be the best at this. Yeah. Because I'm very persuasive. don't know, I kind of wanted to take these guys out. But fine. We'll go ahead and spend a point. He mulls over what you said, scowling as he does. Skist. He says, fine, I'm out. He storms off, no longer looking you in the eye. Come on, lads. Oh. Wow. Thugs usually aren't so easily dissuaded.
Thank you. They were going to take me back to that woman. I've never met anyone so cruel. When she found me the first time she even... My apologies. I'm still out of sorts. You have my thanks and grace, sir.
Wow, she's a very polite little girl. For a moment, it looks like she might hug you, but at the last moment, she seems to think better of it and pulls up short, a half dozen steps away. She collects herself standing straight with her shoulders back, then she nods, the gesture so polite it's almost formal.
My name is Rhin. My home and hearth and bread are yours to use. Except, I don't have any of those things.
How long were you hiding in that building? She blinks a little as if confused or surprised at your question. Then she looks around, shifting nervously from foot to foot. This is my place. This is where I sleep. What's the little girl doing all alone out here? My name is Rhin. But then she hesitates and looks down, blinking. She reaches into her pocket, absentmindedly. Did I forget to tell him that? She stands there motionless for a second and then stops to look up at you. No, I think I did. She looks at you. I'm sorry. She says, my name is Rhin, and my food and fire are yours to use before you go. Without seeming to realize what she's doing, the girl brushes her hand through her hair, and you see the side of her head has been shaved. Large stitches run around her scalp, holding together an ugly cut, longer than her hand. The wound is purple and angry looking, only just beginning to heal. It can't be more than a week old. What happened to your head? Her body grows tense for a moment, her eyes darting around as if deciding whether or not to run away. She glances at the rubble where she had hidden from the thugs. She relaxes, though her eyes are still wary. I was running away. There were some people, bad people. I ran away and got hurt. Let's see. Your story doesn't fit. Who fixed your wound and shaved your head? If you could hardly sit up, how did you keep running? She scowls at you fiercely. I didn't know I was talking to a judge. I told you I can't remember, not for days on either side of whatever happened. She looks away, mouth pressed in a firm line. Sorry, I ran. I was just trying to help. It seems like you've had a rough couple of days. Oh, it's not bad. I found some shimmery berries yesterday, so that means I get to play I wonder if this will poison me later. That's always exciting. Is there anything I can do to help? I don't know. It's pretty good here, unless you happen to have some spare food you aren't using, or water, or a blanket, or a new bed, or a house, or, anything at all. She starts out talking with a playful smile on her face, but then her eyes well up. Her voice stays cheerful even as the tears are running down her cheeks. She wipes them away, embarrassed and angry, but her hands are shaking now, and there are more tears, and words continue to pour out of her. I offer apologies, but it's just that I've been hungry for days. I don't know where I am. My head hurts and nothing makes sense. God's around me. I'm all broken in my head. The moon is wrong and I'm so tired of being scared all the time. How about we'll take care of you. Come with me. Really? No, I'm all... She looks at your companions and seems to shrink away. No, I'm alright. I mean, thank you, but I'm alright. Your scar looks pretty bad. Are you okay? It's fine. It looks a lot worse than it is, and a lot better than yours, anyway. The haircut is pretty awful, though, isn't it? I don't think they really needed to shave quite so much, do you? If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. I'm having some trouble with my memory, too. I know what it's like. She looks at you at a long moment and slowly lets her smile slip away. Without it, she seems even smaller. At first it was pretty bad. I couldn't stay awake or stand up. Even talking was hard, but it gets a little better every day. It doesn't hurt so much anymore, but sometimes I still get dizzy when I move around too fast and I forget things. But it's a little better every day. It doesn't hurt so much anymore, but sometimes I still get dizzy when I move around too fast and I forget things. I'm just kidding. I mean, I do forget things a little, but that was a joke. What people are you running away from? I don't really remember. I think they were stealers. No, what's the word? Robbers? They wanted to rob me? Let's talk about something else. Why don't you come with us? She looks at your companions in turn. I think I would feel safer here. She looks at all three of your companions, then back at you.
Making a note.
Okay, so I can't tell if she just is, if there's specifically somebody in my party that she doesn't like, or if it's just the fact that I have a full party. It did mention that I have 3 companions, and that's why she didn't join us. Let's see. Okay. I know this is going to sound awful, but I think I'm going to ask to leave the party. I think he'll probably end up going back into my brain, or into that mind area. The couple reasons are, the first one is, aside from the fact that he's adorable, he doesn't seem to like, when I go and do like tasks, he's not available to help me do tasks. He doesn't seem to have skills of his own, so he's only just kind of there to, I don't know, to assist. And the other thing is, he's got this ability, what is it? Boosted Tidal Insight, where it tells me which tides I get from which options. And honestly, I'm finding that a little bit distracting. I would rather not know what the game effects are of my different choices. So I'm going to ask him to wait for me elsewhere, and then see if Rhin here will join us. I think we should part for now. Glowing eyes contract to brilliant points of light that momentarily blind you. When you blink again, it's gone. Oh, he took that pretty well. Okay, let's see if that was it. It's not safe, you should come with me. She looks at the tiny nook she was hiding in the back at you. Where are you going? Maybe we can find you a new home. Rhin frowns at that. She seems to consider your offer. Oh. But what about those thugs? What if somebody else comes after me or after you? I'm not a fighter. I can't help you. It's dangerous whether you stay alone or come with me. At least with me, you can learn to take care of yourself. Don't worry about that. I'll keep you out of trouble. Yeah. Alright. That sounds good then. I'll do it.
Making a note.
Let's go.
Yes.
Okay, that's funny. Beloved slave. Ugh. Rhin has agreed to join me. I should bring her to Torment and resolve the situation between them. Yeah, that sounds horrible. Why would I do that? Man. And yet the quest is still going to be open until I do that. But let's see. Well, now that you're part of the party...
What's going on?
What do you think of the people we're traveling with? Really? Who? What do you think of Allegern? He's sweet and sad, like an uncle nobody goes to visit. Not sad, kid, just tired. It probably is tiring being sad all the time. What do you think of Makina? She's a little cold. Don't tell her I said that. He doesn't need to. Makina's ears work just fine. Oh, can you pretend you didn't hear that? Let's pretend I said yes. Okay, that's funny. I know this is rude going and asking, hey, what do you think of this other person that's standing right here? But I find this amusing. Allegern, what do you think of Rhin? You know I don't think we should be looking after a child. We're going through some dark places. Can't we just bring a torch or whatever it is people use for light? I mean, if we're going through... Oh, that's not what you meant. No, it's not. Yeah, I'll bet you Makina says about the same thing.
Start talking.
Oh, gossip, how exciting. What do you think of Rhin? Why would you bring a child with us when you know we're facing utter extinction? No one wants to kill me, I mean specifically. See, she's doomed. Okay, so that's true.
I hear and I go.
I don't know why we're bringing her. She's an observant jack... Oh, that's me. She is a lost child who shapes gods. What? That's an interesting title for... She's got an ability called God of Hiding. Plus 30% on stealth check. Huh. It might actually be interesting just to bring her back to the slaver just to see what they have to tell us about her, but I don't know.
Sure.
I don't really want to, I don't know. Let's see, who else is there to talk to? Who's this person? Loss of self. This young woman clutches herself and growls, low and continuously, under her breath. Pearly white light shimmers from the vial on her wrist, and her eyes are red-rimmed as if she's been crying. You've never seen her before, and yet your hands are sweating, and your breath catches in your inherited chest. Shame burns your throat hot and sour. Your body recognizes her, even if you do not. Leave me alone. You took my face, stole my family, whisper at me in my own voice. Isn't that enough? Isn't that... She breaks off when she sees you. She's in my head, and she won't shut up. Talk loud. Talk over her so I can hear you. You hear a woman in your head? Yes. Now stop talking about her. It brings her forward, and she clings. She whines, and she won't stop, so please stop talking about her. What's that shining object you're holding? She flinches, but reveals the vial strapped to her wrist. It glows with an inner light, and the tiny ripples within seem to cast moving shadows in her palm. I woke up one night in a building I've never seen before. I found this beneath a pile of blackened scales. If you shake it, it makes a picture. Watch. She juggles the vial and holds it up in her other hand. Indistinct shadows mimic the motion on her palm. Why are you holding on to it? Because I feel like it was mine. At any rate, it's mine now, and I don't need any more reason than that. Okay. Okay.
All right.
That was interesting. Something tells me that we're going to get a quest somewhere along.
You can do this.
Okay, I would have felt really guilty like leaving her behind, but I'm feeling really guilty bringing her with us. Because it's not like... I mean, these two are right. It's not like we're going places that are safe for a child.
Fine.
Okay, so let's take her into a bar. There was that couple. There was a couple that we met in Circus Minor that had just like adopted a child.
Why are your tattoos swirling?
They're not.
Yes, they are. They move all the time. Look, they're swirling right now.
How long are we supposed to escort this delightful jewel?
Well, maybe we can find her a safe place to live. Yasig O. Oh, these people have interesting names. It's kind of... I don't know if it's... Yeah, it's kind of fuzzy in here for some reason. That's funny. Sir Arthur, Throbos, Zio. Let's see. Let's talk to this guy. Clarion. Oh, this woman, sorry. This young woman wears finely polished armor and paces back and forth restlessly on the walkway. Her long hair is lustrous and healthy, and her whole form exudes a wholesome vitality. When she sees you, she raises her voice in greeting. Welcome, friend, to the Fifth Eye. You come at an exciting time. I've been trying to convince some veteran warriors of eminent suitability to join the endless battle. So far they have rebuffed me, but perhaps you can succeed where I have failed. Okay. Tell me about yourself. I am Clarion. I seek strong warriors, brave souls, to fight in the endless battle, to hold back the advance of the enemy. It's an endless battle. Much as it sounds, it stemmed from a rift between the changing god and one of his offspring, and has endured for hundreds of years, raging over the same battlefields using the deadliest technology of the ancients. The landscape is scarred and pitted beyond recognition. The walls between dimensions are thin there. Every day horrors cross into our world. Worse, in recent years, the struggle has expanded. Nearby settlements founded to provide material support for the combatants are existing there long before the two sides came to rage on the borders, have been engulfed by the spreading chaos. It's not too late to change the course of battle. If only warriors of proven mettle would join the fight. That's why I'm here. That's why I beg your help. What side are you recruiting for? The changing gods. He has always been the patron of Sage's Cliffs. Perhaps we would not exist if not for his lives and his cast-offs. Certainly we would not be as we are. But that's not the only reason. The changing gods' forces have allied with the towns and the villages of Verzulian Waste. We seek to prevent the endless battle from expanding beyond its borders, growing in size once again. The enemy has attempted to sweep across the plain before. They tricked the changing gods' allies centuries ago, destroyed an army of sand knights, and took half the settlements in the waste. We won't let them do it again. Makina shifts uncomfortably at your side. Yeah, I had a feeling she's probably part of that. Who's the enemy you're fighting? The armies of the first Castoff. They have never been friends to the people of Sage's Cliff. The first Castoff is long dead, but her forces hold a grudge against her sire and his patron city. Makina, do you know anything about this? Of course, and so do you. We were there. Clarion looks back and forth between you, confused. She lowers her voice to a whisper and pulls you out of earshot. The trick she mentioned, that happened at the Colne village. Paj Reckon, the militia, they were the enemy. If this woman is recruiting soldiers to fight Paj Reckon, we should do whatever we can to help. Can you tell me anything about these veterans you hope to recruit? They have fought in countless battles and emerged victorious. They've made decisive forays that turned entire wars. They are clever and thoughtful, though I know only their reputation. The third inversion, for instance, saw them reach into a new dimension, and I won't bore you with the details, but they were integral in an offensive that would have changed the course of that conflict. Why are you trying to recruit these veterans? Perhaps they're tired of war. Conflict shapes us all. It sharpens us, makes us stronger than we ever thought we could be. If you hide from it, you'll never know what you might have become, or worse, you'll be easy prey for those who are stronger or crueler than you. These veterans have grown tired and complacent. I want to help them recapture what they lost. No, I want to help them I want to make them even greater than they were. Okay, I'm not 100% sure if I want to help her or not, but I mean, she's asking us to help her recruit for war that I don't know anything about, aside from Makina saying that we should probably help one side over the other. And on that note, this is probably a good place for us to stop. Next time we can go and talk to the other interesting people in the bar, and can maybe go and go back to some of the other places and start finishing up some of these quests we've got. Gotta go and find out if there's someplace safe that we can bring Rhin here. Who, man, I don't know. We'll figure out something to do with her. But Lost Child Who Shapes Gods, that's a really interesting title to have. Anyway, so that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching.
That wound looks terrible. Have you had a healer look at it?
Oh, yes. I collected every dirty rag and scrap of stale bread I could find to pay her, too.
I'm sorry. Could I donate a rag as charity?
Sorry, Rhin and Algern had to interrupt me there. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Take care.